Unfortunately, the LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga video game has been delayed for the second time in less than a year. Let's talk about the news.
Have you seen Star Wars?
So we have an official statement from TT Games this morning that really surprised some of us and disappointed a lot of us, if not everyone. And it says, all of us at TT Games are working hard to make LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga the biggest and best ever LEGO game, but we're going to need more time to do it. We won't be able to make our intended spring release date, but we'll provide updated launch timing as soon as possible. And that just means we have no release date. It has been delayed, I'm not going to say indefinitely, but the announcement of a release date is to be determined, if you will. We have no idea when this is coming out now. We don't know if it's going to be summer, if it's going to be in the fall, maybe winter. Is it even coming out this year? We don't know. And we could, of course, use that classic industry standard quote for video games, which is, a rushed game is forever bad, but a delayed game is eventually good. That's absolutely true, but this is the second time this game has been delayed, and this was announced back in 2019. I believe they announced it at E3, where they also showed off a lot of gameplay footage. I mean, they showed going from episode to episode, going from planet to planet, how that would work, and so those are mechanics of the game that we still have not seen in the year 2021. If I remember correctly, this was supposed to come out in October of 2020. I think it was like October 20th, because it was supposed to be the same month as Star Wars Squadrons. That was going to be a really big deal. It was kind of cool to think about, and then it was delayed to spring of this year. Now that we're really close to spring, a lot of people were noticing, hey, I'm not seeing a trailer for this. I'm not seeing any updates on what actual date we're going to get this. Someone posted a picture from GameStop that had the game on it, and it said something like May 31st, and I think that was just another placeholder date. I really thought this was going to come out around the same time as the Bad Batch. I really thought it was going to come out in May, simply because of timing. I mean, May the 4th would be a big day for this video game, but also because apparently there's going to be extra characters in the LEGO game, like the Bad Batch crew, as extra add-on characters, whether it be skins, whether it be a DLC side mission, we don't know, but they were supposed to be in the game as well, so it would have made sense to release it along the same time frame. Now we don't know if that's going to happen. Maybe when the Bad Batch series ends, maybe if it's a couple months into the summer, maybe it's around the summer, we can get this video game released, but we don't know. They didn't give us a window anymore, and so now it's just kind of the state of limbo, and when are we going to get this game? And I understand the pandemic and COVID have a major impact on this, and that's where I'm going to give them some leeway, where I'm not going to be overly critical, because I imagine that's the reason for the first delay. But the second one, now it's like, oh man, we definitely don't want a Cyberpunk 2077 situation going on with this, but we also want to get the game. It's one of those things where it's like, how bad is this situation? Is this game going to come out eventually and we're still not going to be satisfied with it because we waited too long? I mean, there are cases of that where you overhype something, you constantly talk about something and make it a big deal, but then since it kind of keeps getting delayed and it's never really finished, by the time it actually releases, everyone's just kind of like, oh yeah, I don't really care anymore. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with that video game Star Citizen, which has been in development for like 10 plus years. I mean, we're still talking about eventually getting that game. Completely different, project, apples and oranges. So timing is a big deal, because you don't want a situation where this game never really gets a release date. By the time they even announce a release date, a lot of people have kind of forgotten about the game. I don't think people will forget about this game because it is LEGO Star Wars. It has been such an integral part to the Star Wars community for almost 20 years now. I mean, Star Wars technically did save LEGO, so they kind of go hand in hand at this point, and we need this game. This game will kind of give a lot of people like me, who weren't really fans of the sequel trilogy, maybe not even fans of the prequels, a new view on those movies. We're going to play them in a different way than we have before, and this is different than all the other LEGO Star Wars games. They say it's supposed to be the best, it's supposed to be the biggest, and I believe them, and I trust them. I am excited for this game, but my excitement will go down the longer I have to wait to get this game if you constantly delay this. I do not want to see this happen to this game. I think this game can deliver. I think this game can do a lot of wonders for the Star Wars fandom, but how are you going to do that when you don't release the game and now you're not even telling us when this game is going to be released? I understand they need time to work on things, but I think it's fair to say this has kind of been mismanaged. Don't tell me you're going to release the game in October and then delay it to spring and then delay it again because you weren't even ready by spring. If by October time you knew you weren't going to be ready to release this in spring, maybe even summer, just say so. I would rather you rip the band-aid off back then, give us some time to just kind of come to peace with it and understand that. But it gets a little confusing because it's like, what are we needing to continue to work on here? Because one thing we've known with COVID is not only has it delayed everything in production for video games and of course, production for actual movies and TV shows, but also one thing this pandemic has showed us is that there are a lot of jobs that were office-based that actually required you to show up to work that are really good for remote jobs. And some of that I imagine would be in the video game industry as well. And if that's not the case, then maybe I'm misspeaking here, but I also remember hearing from the guys who were creating those Rick and Morty shows, the show creator said something along the lines of the fact that everyone is locked down at home during this pandemic has actually helped the show stay on schedule, if not go a little faster, because all their animators and workers are just at home doing the work from there. I don't know if that's the case with the people over here at TT Games making the Lego Star Wars game. Maybe the pandemic has really delayed our expectations for this game and when we could see it, and if that's the case, that's completely fine. I would just like a little bit more transparency, because they have not given us any updates on this game other than this. Every single update for this game has been, oh, it's delayed. Oh, it's delayed. Okay, you don't have to give me an update on the delay anymore. Just tell me what I can see in the game. Give me some marketing. Get me excited for this game. Tell me if it's going to release this year. Bare minimum. Can you do that? Can you tell me if it's going to release this year or not? But that's all I have to say about this subject. I'm sad to hear this news, and I imagine you are too, but tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you guys think about the delay of LEGO Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, for the second time? Do you think it's releasing this year? When do you think it's going to release? And are your expectations for this game higher or lower because of this news? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like or a comment because it does help out the channel. If you enjoy Star Wars Only, become an Only fan and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on the latest news in Star Wars. I'm Star Wars Only. I will see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.